Furnace warning. It is cold out there. I don't think you can see it. So anyway, this just came into the shop a couple of days ago and I haven't had a chance to look at it until now. It's a quality snowblower. I would call this a modern snowblower. Overhead valve engine. Briggs and Stratton. Can you see that there? Husqvarna. So all in all, a well-made, powerful snowblower. Almost too much power for the city. And just on quick inspection of this, I see he's done a rig to cover a hole. So we'll get that, hopefully try and fix that before it leaves the shop. His complaint, I'll get to it now, was that it only runs on choke, right? So how do you say that? Husqvarna? Now I've called them Husqvarna and everything, and of course when you got thousands of people critiquing your language, it is hard to say things properly. One more thing. Ooh, I almost forgot. He gave me this, and he said that when they were loading it, they broke one. They were using its own power to go up the ramp, and they hit something, and they snapped the shear pin right there. See? So I took the other one off and went shopping. There it is. There's a hole for it, right? And I bought, how many's in there? 6 of the shear pins. So I took this to the store, bought these, and then I got thinking, you know, on some of these newer models, they actually give you a few shear pins. And look at, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in there. Plus a little, yeah, that's it. So I'm going to use one of those and I'll put my little package on the wall. This was about $10 Canadian or so. $7 US. So now you're up to speed. Alright my friends, he told me this was brand new fuel. You guys know what that looks like. That's not new fuel. Fuel, fuel, fuel. Alright you guys. I'm just going to rinse this. And I'm going to put this into the snowblower. Old fuel, new fuel. That wasn't new fuel he had in there. So anyway, I'm going to just I'm going to put this into here. And I'm going to just purge a little bit of that same fuel out of there. And it looks pretty good now. I'm going to turn the gas valve off and we're going to finish up. Put a little more fuel in it because I have some confidence. Okay, I'm just going to take a picture for him. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grease these augers and then put the shear pins back in. There's a grease point there and a grease point there. I'll get as much grease in there as I can, and it looks like this broken shear bolt is still stuck in there, so I'm going to tap that out first. Two balls. Now these ones are beveled snap-on punches, but that should work just fine. Not happy about that. Sheared right off on the inside, eh? I'm just spinning the auger now by hand. I've done this before, so I know it's okay. Yeah, it's sheared right off. You're going to have to get better punches. When I say better punches, I mean punches without a bevel. That has a bevel, and this one doesn't. I think that's the one. Yeah, let's see if we can get that out of there. I'm going to rotate this, if I can. Not, oh yeah, it's going to come. There it came. Isn't that weird how stuff happens? There it is. Alright, look at that. That's been deformed a little bit. Now that should spin on there. Both of them should. And we're going to just grease them. We're going to grease them, spin them, grease them some more and spin them to get the grease to flow as much as we can inside that hollow shaft. Inside. Okay, we're going to grease there. You can hardly see, right? Then we're going to spin these and get the grease to move inside the auger. And same thing over here. Right there. So I'll just go do that and then we'll come back. So the next thing I think we are going to do is grease these augers and then put the shear pins in. That's the next big problem. Because we got that broken pin out. So let me just put my punches away. Did I mention this morning? Did I mention this morning that it was 17 below outside? So that's Fahrenheit. Brr. Now I'm going to put some greasy, icky poo-poo. Hey, where'd you go? I'm going to put some greasy, icky poo-poo rubber gloves on here. And we're going to grease these shafts. I'll be right back. Now if I turn you off, I'll probably forget about you, so. And I'm going to take a rag with me because this grease gun, I use Snowblower grease. Snowmobile grease, sorry. I use snowmobile or snowblower grease because it's thin in the wintertime. I'll be right back. Got a little bit left. Should we put you on the chair? The first thing I'm going to do is pop onto that guy. All right. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the holes that the bolts go through. Well, I guess I can't cure it all. There's no grease. There's no I want the grease to flow all the way down the auger, but it probably won't, eh? But we might be able to, I don't think this has been done before on this one. Okay, you'll see right there. Maybe we can get you a light, I don't know. Can you see right there? Grease is coming out. Ew! It's just greasy. Snotty. Icky. It can't hurt, eh? Just look at the drips, because that's really thin grease. I'm gonna get that cleaned up as soon as I get these shear bolts installed. There we go. Okay. Now we have one good one. Ugly. Now this is very typical. The engine parts are metric now and the chassis parts aren't, I don't think. Let's just check that before I put this bolt on here. Is this going to be a 3/8 or is this going to be a 7/16 or what is this? 7/16. This is a really hard auger to work on because they're your fingers just aren't skinny enough. Oh, come on, Pender. I know what I'm going to do. I don't want to get my tools all icky. I tell you, this is icky. Yeah! Okay, so 7/16 on that side. Are you guys watching any of this? Kind of, eh? Good. And then we got to rotate this back a little bit. Now, I don't want to activate the shear pin, but I do want to make sure it's tight. Letters on socket. Done. Tight. All right, I got to clean this goo off the floor and put this guy away. And we're going to check the belts next. Ooh! Okay, so you guys saw the hole in this chute right here. That's not supposed to be there. And so I went online, excuse me for just 1 minute, and there I found it. Canadian site, says free shipping. For $34.95. So I'm going to go see if I can get one. Thanks. That looks like it. It's flat on both sides. There's one view of it and the other view of it. And it looks, oh, don't get dizzy. It looks quite a bit like that with the flat side there. And you can't quite see, but there's a flat side there too. Right there. All right, now I am checking the belts. And that looks like it's just two. There we go. Oh no! Now I'm just going to use a fender washer. This tab was broken from there to there. I'll just use a big fender washer on them. You can't replace everything, right? Okay, I'm just going to, with everything turned off, I'm going to pull the key out. So nothing will start. Engine shut off. I'm going to just rotate the engine to look for cracks in the belts. No, they look, in fact, they look brand new. I'm just going to have a look down inside there. I do not feel like cracking apart a snowblower. Well, the belts look really good. And you have to remember that they have one of these, the auger belt, which is the one on the right here, has to spin freely when there's nothing in gear, right? So I'm just going to grab that oily or wet rag. There's a small amount of belt deposits, which I don't like, but nothing like the last one I just did. No, they look good. I will bring you over. The belts look brand new. Look at that. That's the auger belt, and that's the drive belt. If you can have a look at the drive belt, maybe. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's go to the other side. Gotta show you. There. Right at the tip of the light there. Looks really good. Good. So now the only other thing is I would like to change the oil on this guy. Although it's got way more oil than it looks like it should have in it. I might as well check the tire pressure while I got it in the air. Usually they're low. They sit around for years and then someone decides to check the air pressure in the tire. Oh, checking air pressure. Yeah. Zippity doo-dah. And usually the tires say maximum 15. And that's what I put in because it might be another year and a half before these tires even see another bit of air. Not, oh, half pound. Once again, thank you, Klaus. Good. Okay, we'll come over on this side and we'll do the same thing I just did. So, tire valve. You know the problem with this machine is it hasn't been used. Plug on to, oh, my precious tire thingy. Is there, oh yeah, it's registering, but not much. So, 20 pounds is quite low on the measuring scale. $15. All right, so what's next? We got tires, we got belts, all we have to do is change the oil, and I wanted to check the drive plate. Oh, and by the way, this engine was made in 2010. Okay, no choke. Back to open throttle, 3/4. It should start now. What the heck? I don't know if I'm choking or not choking. Good. Now I just want to check that video to see if everything looked right. Be right back. All right, now we're going to check inside the transmission to see what shape the drive plate is in. There we go. Oh, it's leaking oil. I hope from the newly installed grease on the impellers. But this is always the case with skid plates, and I just don't get it, eh? They're always half torn off, right? So we got a bolt there, we got a bolt there, and this is where they use that evil plastic, right? And then I think the whole thing just comes off with the two 5/16 shoulder bolts right there. 1, 2. And that one's flopping. Okay, let's give it a go. Warming up in here now, finally. It's going to be 5/16. Hey, I tell you, that furnace has been working hard today. Minus 17 out there. And it didn't warm up when the sun came up. This is always the part that makes me nervous. I should check it first, not last. Good. So they call these a shoulder bolt. They have just a little shoulder to hold a wider hole. Oh, well, good. All right. It was just installed wrong to start with. We have to check. No, we look okay. Okay, I'll show you what I'm up to. This is the drive wheel. It's a little bit dirty. It has a few skid marks on it right there. This is the drive wheel, the rubber wheel, and it drives the axles for the gears on the wheels. And it's actually in quite good shape. We have the drive wheel, and this moves up and down and comes in contact with this, which turns the wheels. See that? So you inspect the quality of this wheel here, and you make sure there's no, this has already been cleaned by me, and so this turns the wheels, and this turns from the motor off of one of the pulleys, right? And this moves up and down. Not much, right? So the center is neutral, and that's reverse over there, and that's drive over there. It's good. A plastic underbelly. Man! And this is a Husqvarna. Okay, so this wasn't clipped in right before. Or it hit something. Honestly, it could have hit something, right? There, that's it. Good. Good news there. Let's put these little shoulder bolts back in to said hole. 1 and 2. Always the hardest one for second, eh? It's like spark plugs on an old V8 that was behind the brake booster. Okay. Now all I gotta do is just change the oil. So this is what you need a set of these ratchet wrenches for on snowblowers, because you can stick your wrench in there and still get a ratchet action. Good. All right, we'll get you guys out of the way. Turn off the flashlight. And we'll get the old snowblower down on its legs. You know what, I'm not happy with this being floppy woppy. No, we're good. Hey, just an oil change now, dudes. And I got to put that belt cover back on now that we've finished looking at the transmission. Let's do that right now. Remembering I need a fender washer. 3/8. That one should grab down there. No over tighten. Now I'm going to just work on this one because this is a broken piece of plastic. So I'll show you that when I'm done. Okay, this is what I did. I just loosened it off. I took a drill bit and I drilled an almost hole through it. How's that for a description? And it pushes down and then we tighten this up. Good. And of course I will check it with a wrench. A 3/8. I got one of those out here, I gotta have. Oh, it might be a 5/16. No, it's a 3/8. Good. It is 3:48 p.m. I'll turn this back on. It'll be like internet magic. See that? I'll plug this. You see that ungodly mess there? I'll be back in just a bit. 4:01. So that's all it takes. I know, nag, right? Have a good day, guys. I didn't get the oil changed in that snowblower yet. Okay, guys, I just removed the wheel to make changing the oil much easier. Believe it or not, if these aren't rusted on, and I'll put oil or anti-seize or something on there, this is the way to change the oil on a snowblower. Like Road King, I love oil, but I don't love oil all over the place. So here we go. I've already loosened this end, and the oil comes out. And if we loosen this top piece, it's pretty thin. I think there's fuel in it. In fact, I know there's fuel in it. Just gonna go, look at it, that's pretty thin, man. I think that's why it's got more oil than it should have. It's almost gasoline. Yep. Yeah, that's almost pure gas, eh? So what do? Do you run it for a half an hour and then change it again? Almost tempting, hey? Yeah, that oil was a good percentage gasoline. My back's not designed for this anymore. There. So that's good. I had it warmed up when I was putting it around the place, so I'm not worried about that. But I might just change the oil in it again after I finish my work here. Ugly. I don't have the manual for this one, eh? I want to look up how much oil a 14 horsepower Briggs & Stratton overhead valve takes. Alright, the oil's changed. Now all I got left is, I don't like the way this is flopping in the breeze like that. This one's nice and firm. I'm just going to take up the slack on this transmission lever, I was going to say, on this transmission pulley anchor. Now, that's a chassis, so that's probably going to be a 9/16. I'll use a crescent wrench on it. You guys watching any of this, or am I just talking to myself? Oh no, I'm not. It's over here. I'm trying to make this rod just a little bit shorter. We'll see if that's going to do it. Now we need pliers to... I could disconnect this off the bar here. Come on, baby. It's a little better. I think I'm going to leave it at that. 1/2 inch. Yeah, that's not going to come undone by itself. There we go. Well, that's better. A little bit of slack in it, but not as much. All right. All right, my friends, I think it's done. We got to do a demo. Forward, back, front, back, chute control, the whole deal. So, gas 3/4. It's still turned on because I was testing it. I don't think we're going to need much. I'll give it 1 prime or 2 primes, and that should start. And we don't have any handles squeezed, so we should be safe. Let's go. I guess I should crack a door. Now, of course, everything, the light goes wacko. All right, let's just do this. All right, Husqvarna 14 horsepower snowblower. Got it running, leaks gas. 4 checks. That's the engine number. Ordered chute base, right? Service, change oil, lube chassis, grease auger, changed shear bolts, air in the tires. Service transmission, adjusted lever. And that was this lever over here. So, doesn't look like much work after you're all done, eh? Thanks a lot, guys. I enjoyed this one. I don't think a hand-operated snowblower should have a 14 horsepower motor, though. I think that's just a little bit overkill. You can see the damage on the chute, eh? On that old chute. But, you know, I'm not an engineer, right? Thanks, guys, for watching this video. And you can see it's wintertime. I got all the snow machines in here. These are all mine. You guys who know me a long time know about my machines. Anyway, today is about this guy. Thanks for everything.